I have been critical of the Ferguson Police Department. I thought the Ferguson Police Department, like too many police departments around the country, are too militarized. If you dress the police department and equip them like infantry, they'll begin to act like infantry. Infantry is meant to be an organized group that sees the opposite people. People on the other side of the road are voters and taxpayers. If you treat police like infantry, you get a situation like Ferguson, where there's no social contract. I think we should not train police and dress them as infantry, because they're too likely to act that way. And in a situation in which everybody on the ground is a civilian, in which the potential rioters are taxpayers and the voters, then you've got to be in a much more cooperative arrangement. And I have focused a lot of my attention, because I think the biggest economic weight on this area is our reputation as the headquarters of Murder Incorporated in the United States. With you hear over and over again, obviously New York people at no end want to say that so many murders are happening in Chicago. That's because they were afraid that one day it happened in New York. In our case, I've been appropriating $18 million a year for the Fed to attack gangs of national significance. If you talk to CPD, they'll tell you about 90% of the shootings in Chicago are gang-related. The number one gang in Chicago is the Gangster Disciples. They have about 18,000 members. And as I developed the legislative history of it, I said that the gang that I would most like the Fed to attack is the GDs. The example that I'm using is a successful example, but I go back to 1928, when the Al Capone gang carried out the St. Valentine's Day massacre. I worried with today's media, people would say, oh, you could never conquer the Capone organization. Luckily, in 1928, we did with federal help. Over time, I would like to mortally cripple some of the GDs.